Hey guys, welcome to my review for Birds of Prey. I apologize if my hair seems a little bit long, but that's only because I haven't cut it in a few weeks, so yeah, this thing grows. It is an actual monster. But anyways, that's not what we're going to talk about here. Today we're going to be talking about Birds of Prey, or Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That is a long title. But anyways, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about Birds of Prey. So, what is the plot? Well, the plot is, a lot of time has passed since the events of Suicide Squad. Harley's left the Joker, and now she's trying to live out on her own and try and build herself a new identity. But things get complicated when she encounters a young girl by the name of Cassandra Cain. See, Cassandra stole an important diamond that is really interested in the eyes of Roman Saez. I don't even know if I pronounced his name right, but anyways, it's Black Mask, and he's portrayed by Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Harley realizes the fact that a lot of people are going to be after her and Cassandra. A few include Black Canary, Victor Zsasz, who is the right-hand man of Roman, Helena Bertinelli, aka the Huntress, and Gotham City Police Detective Renee Montoya. Now, everyone aside from Victor Zsasz, they have to team up in order to be able to stop Victor, in order to be able to stop Roman, save Cassandra, make sure he doesn't get the diamond, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna get into the nitty-gritty of it. I was not a fan of Suicide Squad. I appreciate the fact that it was trying to be able to do something different, but it didn't really work. This attempted to do something different, and it actually succeeded. I very much think the fact that this very much encaptures the spirit of Harley Quinn better than Suicide Squad did. I very much thought so. And then I very much feel like the fact that there was a lot of stuff that they did in this that Suicide Squad also did, but I thought this did it better. Like, for example, Harley would come in and narrate, and she'd be like, okay, so here's this guy, and here are the problems that he has against me. Then they'll write on the screen, it'll take, like, grievances that they have against Harley, other things like that, like little plot points, like little backstories. But for the most part, that's the kind of, that's the kind of stuff that you've seen in Suicide Squad, like, they gave everyone their own custom soundtrack, they gave a little writing on the screen to show their little character portfolio or whatever, but yeah. I also want to mention real quick, Jared Leto is not in this movie. Joker's not in this. But they do make they do make references to him, and they do make another reference to another particular Suicide Squad character, but it's more of a background gag. Like Harley just passes by, it's like, hey, I happen to know that guy. So yeah, the events of Suicide Squad still happened, but you know, some elements happen while others not so much. But anyways, that's not what we're going to get into. Let's talk about Birds of Prey. Let's talk about the good stuff. The actors who portray these characters do a really good job. Margot Robbie, of course, she's great as Harley Quinn. She was the highlight of Suicide Squad, and she definitely did a good job with this. In fact, she actually produced the movie as well. In fact, Margot Robbie actually stated the fact that they had been working on a variety of Harley Quinn-related projects, and it came down to two options. Either do Birds of Prey or do Gotham City Sirens. And Margot Robbie was like, everyone knows who Poison Ivy and Catwoman are, so maybe we should focus more on the lesser-known characters. Which I think is a smart move, because I don't think many people are as familiar with these characters. Unless you're like a die-hard comic book fan or just grew up on stuff like the DC animated universe, you're probably not going to know who a lot of these characters are. Thankfully enough, I do. But anyways, everyone does a really good job with their performances. Also, Ewan McGregor, he did a great job as Black Mask. Like, I seriously think the fact that he probably portrayed a really great Black Mask. And the thing is, too, I think this is the first time we've ever seen Ewan McGregor in a villain role before. We've seen him in a lot of stuff, like literally last year we saw him in Doctor Sleep. He was, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's, of course, been in Trainspotting. But we've never seen him in a movie before in which he was the outright bad guy. Like, that's actually really interesting. That's just really interesting to me. But anyways, they all do a great job. The visual style is very much unlike anything I've seen before in a comic book movie. Not in the sense of the fact that it's mind-blowing, but in the sense that this is the kind of visual style that I really don't see in comic book movies. And it's unique, too. which, hey, thumbs up for that. That, they were able to come up with their own unique visual style. The fight sequences were awesome. They were very brutal. From what I heard, they actually got the director of the John Wick movies to actually come on here as a second unit director for reshoots, and it definitely shows. A lot of the action that's showcased in this movie feels very much like something that you'd see in a John Wick film, which, hey, no complaints here. Some of the humor was actually pretty good too. Like, I actually thought there was a lot of humorous moments in here too. Like, there was a recurring gag involving the diamond, which I'm not going to give away here for obvious reasons, but it actually is a little bit fun. It actually is really funny. But, yeah. Now we get... Oh, wait, no, hold on. One last positive mention I want to mention real quick is that this is supposed to be Cathy Yan, the director of this movie's big Hollywood feature screen debut. She did a really good job for her first, big Hollywood movie. She's done a lot of independent stuff. I looked her up on her IMDb, and it's almost nothing but independent films. I've heard none of these movies before, and she did a really good job with this. To Cathy Yan, give yourself a clap, a pat on the back, because, woof, this was good. But now I gotta move into a little bit of my critiques with the movie. I do feel like that yes, it does better capture the spirit of Harley Quinn, but there are a few elements that I was not particularly fond of, because I'm probably not the target demographic for this movie. Because the only reason why I saw this movie is because, one, I thought it looked actually pretty good, and two, because I'm a big DC guy, as you can obviously see by this huge stack of DC comic books that I have in the background in this Batman v Superman Blu-ray that I have right next to me. But yeah. But I very much get the feeling the fact that I'm not the target demographic for this. I very much feel like the fact that this is meant to be for the ladies, which nothing, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying it feels like that I'm not the person, when they were making this movie, I highly doubt the fact that they were making it with the intention of making it for someone like me. That's not what they did. One thing I do want to mention real quick that I kind of find that I had to get used to was the fact that because Harley was narrating throughout the movie, it did cut back and forth in time a lot. As Harley puts it, I'm the narrator of the story, so I can tell it however I wish. Not her exact words, but you get what I mean. So it'll be so this is essentially what happened after Suicide Squad, then it cuts to 4 days ago, then the present day, then a week ago, then back to the present day, and then they flash back to this one particular character's childhood, shows how that ended up happening, then cuts back to the present day again, yada yada yada. It very much felt a bit disorienting, and the opening section of the movie in which we see Harley living a new life, I actually did enjoy because it did feature a lot of stuff from the comics. They featured the Beaver from the New 52 era of comics. They featured the Hyena. They featured her roller derbying, which was actually really cool and a big part of the comics. And even the part about Harley going into business, that was actually something that happened in the comics as she inherited a building and became a landlord, which this is the kind of stuff that you'd expect from the comics to probably get translated into film, but never does. Now it actually is, and it's very interesting. Very much like a lot of other team ensemble films like The Avengers and other stuff like that, you always got to worry about how much screen time a particular character is getting. For example, I really wish the fact that we could have seen more of Huntress. Because one, I think she's a really interesting character. Two, she's played by a great actress, Marty Elizabeth Winstead. Also, shout out to Marty Elizabeth Winstead for, being a fellow North Carolinian like myself. But for the most part, yeah, I really wish the fact that we could have gotten to see more of Huntress. I also very much feel like the fact that this was also a bit of a setup for, it very much felt like how Iron Man 2 was a setup for the Avengers. This feels like how this is supposed to be setting up for, the actual Birds of Prey, and Harley just happened to have been involved, because despite what the title tells you, it's essentially the Harley Quinn movie. And, hey, I'm not complaining, because I actually do like Harley Quinn. I think she's a great character. But, yeah, when it's called Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, you're expecting the Birds of Prey to be the main focus and for Harley to be sort of taking a side back to everything, sort of being the recurring character that unites all the characters together. But she's at the forefront of this. She is the main protagonist. She's the narrator of the story. Big deal. Also, I want to mention real quick the fact that this film uses its R rating effectively. There's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of gore, a lot of brutal action sequences, and stuff that you could have never gotten away with in a PG-13 film like Suicide Squad. Very much got the fact that they went with that R rating. Good on them. But yeah, overall, Suicide Squad was actually a really fun time. DC, you're doing a really good job right now. Like, ever since you guys realized with Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad that direction wasn't really going well, and stuff like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, all those movies are the direction to be going in. I honestly think the fact that they're doing a really good job, and Birds of Prey is another one of those movies in which it's actually really good. So overall, I'm going to give Birds of Prey an 8 out of 10. It is definitely a good time. It's a very good time to see at the theater. I very much recommend it because there's literally nothing else coming out this week. But yeah, that concludes my review for Birds of Prey, and now we are officially 1 week away from my review of You Know Who. In fact, I actually have him with me right now. Next week, get ready for when I do my review of Sonic the Hedgehog. Ooh, I'm expecting this to go one of two ways. One, it is a beloved film in which they realize, hey, this is actually a pretty decent movie. It might actually break the video game movie curse. Or the other path being, well, we're not entirely going to know for sure until the movie actually comes out next week. So, yeah, look forward to that. Until next time, as always, I am your host, and I will see you in the next video.